Hi, I'm Amelia, and today I'm going to be doing 10 books and like the book couples in those books and the Taylor Swift songs they remind me of. Alright, this might be like the nichest thing on the planet and people are going to be like, no one needs that, but this idea came to me and I was like, I have to. It was the first time I felt motivated for an idea in a long time, so I was like, I have to. It's my calling because I am Taylor Swift trash and I've exposed that fact here now. Alright, so let's get into it. I just realized I have no idea if I should summarize these books or not because like some of the songs, for them to make sense when I like describe why they connect to me, at least do involve spoilers a little bit. I'll say spoiler warning and give like a 5-second chance to like skip ahead. So I don't know if I should describe them or not, so I'm gonna do like a vague, very simple summary because also these books are kind of basic, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm basing this on like book couples I love a lot and I'm a basic person. But basically, my first book here is Shadow and Bone, and that's basically about a girl who discovers like powers this entire world's been waiting for. And so the main couple in this one is Mal and Alina, and also kind of Darkly and Alina, and then there's Nikolai and Alina, but that's not in the first one at all, so yeah. So for Mal and Alina, I feel like Dorothea captures them very, very well. Dorothea, that's on Evermore. And I keep looking at these sticky notes I put on the back of the books, and I feel like I'm cheating. But the reason I have the sticky notes is because I'm someone that, like, the second I think a thought, I've already forgot it. But I didn't have to show you, but I was like, let's be honest at least. Let's not lie. Let's not cheat and lie. Let's pick one or the other. So I feel like Dorothea is very much Mal and Alina vibes because it's like, I don't know, you can't tell me the whole line of like if you ever get tired for like being known for like who you know doesn't like fit for them so well, and like the whole vibes of like, oh, they're like big and important now and we don't see each other anymore doesn't fit them perfectly, and especially in the first book, you're wrong. And for Darkling and Alina, which I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for mentioning it, but it is very important in the first book, so I thought I would talk about it anyways. I think the Lucky One works really well. I think the Lucky One is just Alina's song in general, but I think it works really well in the context of the Darkling relationship dynamic. Alright, next book. Alright, so this will become as an absolute shock to no one because where Shadow and Bone is Six of Crows, the other the duology set in the same universe as Shadow and Bone is not far behind, especially for me. Also, let's take a minute to appreciate the gorgeousness that is the collector's edition cover because my sister didn't just get me that for my birthday, so look at her. No Mores, No Funerals. Alright, I feel like the song Renegades really captures Inej and Kaz vibes, like the whole, you can't tell me the whole like thing about like letting your damage another person and still wanting to be together, and like the whole line like, is it really your anxiety that stops you giving it all for me? You can't tell me that. You can use someone opening a soda. You can't tell me that doesn't fit Inej and Kaz perfectly. I will not be told that. And I know technically it's not a Taylor Swift song because she's a featured artist on it, but Miss Girl, literally, she only let the people sing the backup vocals on their own song. She only let Big Rapper Code Machine sing their background vocals. Alright, oh, I forgot to do a Six of Crows summary. Crap. This book is insanely hard to summarize. Basically, 6 people go on an impossible heist in the same world as Shadow and Bone. Technically not at the same time, but like near enough, you know, where things kind of add up. So yeah, that definitely, Renegades definitely gives me Kaz and Inej vibes, 1000%. Alright, and this one is a little bit of a spoiler warning. I'll give you a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a weird way to do that. Alright, so Happiness, definitely Matthias. I literally can never say his name because the TH in the middle of words throws me so much. And Nina. I feel like that whole like happiness, like there was happiness because of you, there's happiness after you, both of these things can be true. If you're in the know on why that works, you're in the know on why that works, and I literally can't fight the facts. That's their song. All right, can't fight the facts. All right, book number 3, if you follow me on TikTok, will come out as absolutely no surprise to you because you've known this book's been on my mind since it recently got announced that it's getting its own TV show. Red Queen, dun 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 dun. All right, so basically, little note card thing. Red Queen is about a girl who lives in a world divided by blood, where like not half, but like some people have silver blood, other people have like regular boring red blood like us. People with silver blood are royalty nobles because they have powers, and there's like a whole like the reds want to rise and be treated the same. The poorest summary history of summaries, but this video isn't really about that. Alright, so the song I picked for this, okay, so there's kind of a love triangle in this book if you're familiar with it. For Marin Maven, who is my genuine, like, Maven is one of my top book boys of all time, even though he is not a good person. I accept that. My thing with Maven is that I don't ship him with Mare because he did Mare so dirty. But do I ship him with me? Yeah. I'm not even gonna pretend I know. Also, would I have been mad if Maven got a redemption arc? Not even a little. But I understand why he doesn't have one. Alright, so I think Haunted from the Speak Now album fits them so perfectly. I think I even made a TikTok about it a while ago. But like, you can't tell me like the whole something made your eyes like gold, cold, don't leave me like this. That screams the scene where he's like, no, I don't think I will. After she like says, help me up. Perfect. Alright, so Mare and Cal, a lot of you know that Cal isn't my favorite character. I like him and Mare together, but on his own, I just don't feel like he's as strongly written. But that might just be me only seeing like liking when characters have like the whole like more dilemma thing. I think Out of the Woods works for them, which sounds really basic, but let me justify it. So Out of the Woods, basically, well, Taylor Swift wrote it to be about the paparazzi, but I feel like it works really well for like trying to like figure out where you stand with someone and feel your relationship with them during like a literal war where like your entire lives are being torn apart. So that's why that's their song. All right, this one is another internet book fandom classic, The Cruel Prince. That was really awkward. I really hate that I did that. Anyways, I was not gonna make this video about picking a Taylor Swift song for Jude and Carden. Also, I feel like Carden is definitely a Swiftie. You cannot change my mind on that. You cannot tell me he didn't come to the mortal world and Vivi played like a Taylor Swift song. You can't tell me that didn't happen. Him and Heather vibing on Taylor Swift definitely happened. Alright, so Cruel Prince summary. Basically, it's about a girl and her twin sister. They're basically the only human people in Fae getting to live, like the noble Fae live, because this like noble Fae killed their mother in a fit of like jealous rage, and they have a half Fae sister, and basically this is her like trip through power. And then there's a bunch of political stuff. It's marketed very heavily as a romantic enemies to lovers book, but really that's a sideline plot. You're honestly, people say they're not supposed to like Carden in the first book. I did because I am, yeah. But the point is I did, but most people are like, how is he the love interest? He's like the worst enemies to lovers because he's just a jerk. And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, Carden, I feel like I also need to say one of my top book boys. Also, I feel very disrespectful because I did not talk about Kaz earlier, and I very much adore Kaz. He would hate me so much, but that doesn't stop me from loving him. That applies to every book boy I've mentioned. Alright, so I do have a problematic option for this and like a serious option. I feel like Gorgeous from Reputation works really well because you can't tell me that those two didn't hate each other because of their sexual chemistry, and that literally is the theme of Gorgeous. And then for like a more serious, like emotional aspect song, definitely Treacherous from Red is theirs. They own that. The whole This Love is Treacherous, but I like it. Them. Also them is the whole Gorgeous like sexual tension situation. Alright, so I'm gonna go do book number 5 now, I think. I checked, and the song with Achilles is definitely book number 5. Alright, this book basically is a retelling of the whole like myth of like actual Achilles from Greek mythology, and it centers around Patroclus as a point of view. Pronounce names so bad. I'm so bad at pronouncing things in general. My diction is terrible. So this is basically about Patroclus and how his life changes after he gets sent away from his kingdom to live with a bunch of other rejected princes and meets the prince of that kingdom and how their lives intertwine. You cannot tell me Marjorie by Evermore was not made for that. I mean, the literal chorus is what died didn't stay dead, you're alive in my head. That's that. Literally, soulmates beyond and before the grave cannot, this is probably the shortest clip because I literally, if you disagree, you're wrong. Like, I feel like all the other ones are kind of a jump. I've stuttered so much in this video, I think it's gonna suck. But I feel like the other ones are objective. This one is not. Marjorie is theirs. Belongs to them. Belongs to Patroclus and Achilles. Alright, their song. No comment, no argument. Alright, next. This one was easy. For this next book, we're going back to my OG book obsession phase in like the prime 2015 era. Heartless. Alright, I'm so awkward at these. Okay, so Heartless in Summer is basically a retelling of like Alice in Wonderland without Alice. So it's basically just a Wonderland story, and it's kind of a spoiler, the summary, in a way, but it's basically the origin of who becomes the Red Queen. You can kind of tell from the beginning that's like the goal, because like Heart, like a bunch of stuff. so I'm not counting it as a full spoiler, but basically, yeah. So this book is actually incredibly hard to summarize without spoiling, but basically Catherine, who goes by Kath a lot of the time, she is in the situation where she's going to be engaged to a prince, but Miss Girl does not like the prince. She likes another guy. Personally, I'm not sure I would pick the love of my life over, oh wait, not a prince, a king, and like a literal king. Her mom definitely is like, Miss Girl, it's not about love, it's about connections. So yeah, so I feel like the song that works for this is Right Where You Left Me. And it is a bonus track on Evermore, and I most definitely cannot describe why it connects. I definitely can't describe why it connects without spoiling the book. So basically, her actual love interest, Jess, dies, and she ends up marrying the king because of that. I think I read this book a long time ago. But the point is she becomes queen, and becomes the Queen of Hearts, no less, hence the point of the book. But she becomes the Queen of Hearts because of her grief over the loss. And it was like a predicted loss too. So she was trying this entire book to keep him alive. There was a whole prophecy for it, and it doesn't work. And she definitely like snaps because of that. And so that's why Right Where You Left Me works so well. Because that song, you can't tell me it doesn't have vibes of like a woman having like a mental breakdown because of like grief. Though in the song, it's more grief of a breakup, but this one's definitely grief of like death, permanent separation. All right, so let's do book number 7. I think. All right, this next one, Love of My Life, Bone Crier's Moon. This is the sequel because I literally can't find my original. I took it on a trip, and I think I like left it in one of like my bags, and I just haven't like taken them all out yet. But this is the sequel. Recommend this duology very much. Very cute little bingeable duology. I don't know why I said cute. It has like the perfect enemies to lovers balance. The summary of this book is basically there's a world in which women, there are women that are born into this family that like carves bones to inherit the grace of the animals that the bones originated from, and before they can like do their purpose, which is to ferry the dead, they have to kill their soulmate to sever the ties they have to this world. Now, notice how I said ties and stuff and like to this world. Well, their song is quite literal. Invisible String from Folklore, that's literally perfect for this main couple, Miss Girl. For every relationship in this book, because it's all about like the soulmates and how they're always meant to be, find each other, meet each other. So Invisible String, 100,000%, honestly the easiest book I had to think of a song for. We're getting towards the end of book number 9, Pride and Prejudice, which is one of the most basic books to talk about in the entire world because of how popular it is. But I love me Jane Austen. I did an entire capstone presentation on her, and I passed, so thank you for that, Jane. And Gold Rush from Evermore. The vibes fit so well with this book. I can't summarize this book. I'm so bad at summarizing this book because I read it like once every 2 years and I instantly forget like the main plot points. But it is the OG enemies to lovers. Alright? Because somehow Mr. Darcy has the worst proposal in history and you still find yourself rooting for this couple. You're like, they should be married. And all he did was insult her the entire time. It's perfect. But basically, a Gold Rush, alright, this song I feel like is very much about like when someone is seen as so perfect and yet you're like the one that sees their flaws, yet you like somehow there's still like that love there, a little bit of jealousy for them being so perfect. And like the themes don't exactly line up perfectly, but the aesthetics work so well together, I just had to. And like I feel like Elizabeth's position on not like just being wowed by Mr. Darcy because of everyone else's just works so well with the song. Literally, I love this song and this book together so much. I genuinely, if you have anyone, like I want to see edits of the Pride and Prejudice, like any of the movies, I'm pretty sure like the 2000, like I forget what year, but like the 2000s, like not the most recent one, whatever, like the 2000s-ish one, and like the Girls with Bangs, I'll remember it later. I think that's the best one. But basically, take Gold Rush, edit that movie, send it to me. Woo! It's so awkward. Some of you are gonna hate me for this last one, but I can't pretend I haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I know Sarah J. Maas is not like a person to condone, but I did read the first one and enjoyed it too. And it wasn't perfect. It was not my favorite book in the entire universe, but it was a fun read. I read the second one, haven't read the third one yet because the second one didn't make me super thirsty for the third. Thirsty is a bad word to use in this context. But it just, I don't know. I want to prioritize other books, especially since the books get so long and the series is so long. So yeah, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Alright, so the song I have written down is honestly only applies to Tamlin. Also, this book is, I forgot to summarize, but kind of have to spoil it to give you the song. A Court of Thorns and Roses is basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling with Faye and enemies to lovers twice. It's like a high fantasy book. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Also, I don't know why I said also, that's basically all there is to it. And then it kind of spirals from the Beauty and the Beast retellings, basically. I think that's what I meant. Wow, I'm talking more than my brain can process. All of this goes on in editing. Alright, so Illicit Affairs off of Folklore, I feel like works so well for her and Tamlin at the beginning of, like, at the end of the first book and the beginning of the second book, because Feyre is so broken by the PTSD of what happened under the mountain, and yet she's still trying to bend over backwards to be like the wife that Tamlin wants, because she wants to salvage the relationship. She wants it there so badly. And I feel like that, especially in context of the line that goes like, don't call me kid, don't call me baby, look at this godforsaken mess that you've made me. That works so well with them, because he tries to comfort her with like pretty things, but he's just too broken from his own PTSD to be who she needs, and she's too broken to be what he wants, which is like this little wife that's comfortable staying inside and who doesn't feel the need to do like more with like the horror she's seen. I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I got. I didn't write this one down, but I feel like Invisible String, which I mentioned earlier, for Bonecryer's Moon, well, Dawn technically, works super well for Rhysand and Feyre, because it's like the whole like, you know, like the mates thing, where it's like always, even when there wasn't a connection, there was, and like there was always something pulling them back to each other, because their whole relationship grows from her wanting to run away from Tamlin and then do something for the war, so they were never meant to be like together, but then they ended up being soulmates. So yeah, ta-da. I literally don't know how to end these. Alright, normally I have nothing to talk about in the closing segment thing, but this time I do. If you liked this type of video, I feel like it's very niche, so I feel like everyone's gonna be like, what is this? And I'm gonna get like 2 views. But if you are one of the 2 viewers and you like it, let me know, because I had a lot of fun picking songs. I listen to a lot of music and I relate songs so much with like tropes and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of like, you could just be like, do like sad songs or something like that, and I could definitely find a way to make a video connecting it to books. Or if you want like book recommendations or genre recommendations or relationship recommendations, like not relationship, I've used it at that, based on a specific genre or artist or whatever, I feel like I could manage. So yeah. Also, if you thought this was fun, I kind of have a TikTok, like an informal TikTok series doing this type of stuff, especially for Red Queen right now. So my TikTok is at EMG's Bookshelf. If you want to follow that to get more content like this, which is a lot shorter, it's there. So